When I went back after my first treatment at Tabula Rasa, I was feeling really positive and good, physically good, mentally good, but I was still carrying a lot of grief from the death of my mother and the death of my boss, and it was just kind of spinning round and round and round in my head, and I started to feel really vulnerable out there. And I knew I had to get back to Tabula Rasa for some therapy. It was the mental stuff that was starting to get me, and I started to panic, and I knew I had to get back as quickly as possible. And thank God, Alvaro, you got me in as quickly as possible. I was very resistant, to be honest. I didn't want to do it. The thought of being locked up, well, not really locked up, but like isolated in my room and not allowed to look at anybody else, talk to anybody else apart from my guide, sounded to me like pure torture. Because I'm that sort of person. I'm just so resistant to. If I don't want to do anything, I'll throw my toys out the pram. I'll find a way to get out of it. But there was a little voice inside of me for once saying to me, Alex, you know, you've been fighting this for your addiction for over 35 years. You need to start listening to someone else for once in your life. And I was there at the right time with the right person, and he got through to me. When I was on my own, contemplating, my guide would come to me every 30 minutes or maybe every hour, and he worked me on my grief, on my regrets, on my remorse that I was carrying constantly and I couldn't let go of. I was trying to do anything to kind of distract myself from those thoughts. So I asked him if he could get me some pistachios. So he got me some pistachios, and I'm sitting there breaking the pistachios. You know, you get the ones that are cracked already open, they're easy to open. But every now and again you come across a few pistachios that are sealed. And you just think, forget that one. You sod it, I'll just get one that's easy to crack open. And then I thought, that is me. I'm one of those nuts that you just can't crack open and you just toss it to the side. That's the way I've treated myself my whole life. My guide, Pinot, slowly, he cracked me open. I cried for those whole, literally 4 days, 4 nights. I feel like the grief, even though I still feel sad, I still feel the loss and I miss them so much, but I am feeling like they want me to live my life now. It's time for me to get on with my life, and I feel like I've let go of the grief, the remorse, and I feel a sense of freedom for the first time in my life. I'm 51 years old now. I've been fighting this dis-ease for nearly all my life, and I finally feel I can actually go out there in the world and live life for myself and to help other people. Well, I've been in 10 rehabs through my life, and I've done 6 months, but I've never managed to be cracked open. And this time, having to sit with myself, contemplate, think, cry, I discovered that I've got to stop punishing myself, especially when my boss died and the dogs died. It was so hard for me to move on for the last 2.5 years, I used to just sit in the corner of the room, even when the room was full of people, with my hoodie up, closed off from everybody. Now, I just feel free. I think Naikan is essential. On the second day, I was ready to walk away from it. You know, I was angry, all my anger, all my resentment was coming up. The Naikan, it's so clever the way it works. It kind of works. I know the 12 steps. I've been in the NAAA for years. Even when I was using, I used to go, you know, but it never, I never got it. I never really got it. But sitting with him, you know, every half an hour, I went through all my resentments with my families, my friends, all the hurts, all the wrongs I had done, all the wrongs that were done to me. I shared with him. In that short period, I went through the whole 12 steps in a way. That was my breakthrough. Anyone that does ibogaine, I would recommend to do the Naikan therapy. It's what, 3, 4, maybe 5, as many days as you could do it for, the better. This is what's made me feel that I can start living my life now, freely. I'm not going to forget, you know, my loved ones. I can't forget that, but I know that if they're looking down on me, they want to see me getting on with my life. And I'm ready to get on with my life now. I think the first question, really, because when I really had to sit there and think about it on my own, I realised all my resentments and anger towards my family and my friends and people that done me harm. When I really thought about it, you know, they had done the best they could for me. You know, I got to that place where I actually could start looking at what they'd done for me, you know. No one gave them a book of rules how to raise a child. They gave what they could. When my mother died, that's when I really turned away from my family and cut myself away from them. When I was asked that question, and I had to think about it, they actually done a lot for me. They loved me, they fed me, they looked after me, they clothed me, you know, they protected me. It was me that turned my back and ran away from them. When I was angry, they helped me let off steam. I had about 20 minutes 3 times a day. And I used those 20 minutes 3 times a day to physically get myself moving again. It was, you know, it was very important to me. It made me feel more calm, more peaceful, and more forgiving for myself. My life revolved around, you know, my work revolved around someone who I loved very much. And the pain, his pain was my pain. I felt like I just shed all that baggage I've been carrying for all these years. I feel quite emotional, and it's not emotional in a bad way. It's a sense of freedom that I can build a life for myself, even at this age, after all these years. I know I can get out there and create my own life now. I'm so grateful that I was offered the opportunity to do Naikan. It's the only thing I've done. I've been in therapy, counselling for over 15 years, plus all the rehabs. It's the only thing that has broke me through.